Hi, good evening. It's very important to take control of your life. Most of the times, we indulge in blame games. I could have done this thing. I could have done this thing. Maybe I could have been much better than what I am now. Well, had I born in some other family, well, my life would have taken this course. Had I gone to this university or this college, I'd have done this thing. Had I been born in another country, I would have done something like that. I mean, so on and so on. We human beings have a tendency to blame things, but that is not correct. You cannot choose where you are born. It is not within your hands. It's God will to have sent you to a particular country, born in a particular family, born in a particular caste, with economic background, rich, middle class, poor. So you cannot choose your parents. You cannot choose the country. You cannot choose the circumstances. So what you need to do, you need to make best out of it what is available. There are two kinds of people. The first kind, well, they rather sulk. They go on blaming. They go on blaming their parents. They go on blaming their relatives. They go on blaming their friends. They go on blaming their colleagues. Well, and they are mostly unsuccessful. They never realize their full potential. Well, that's the first kind. Uh, then you have second kind of people. Now, in this category, you have people who are go-getters. Well, they know uh, they have born with certain liabilities. They have born with certain shortcomings. But at the same time, they have been privileged to have got something positive. So, what they do, instead of sulking over the factors which they cannot control, instead of creeping over the situation around them, well, they go out of way to find their avenues, uh, not only perform, but perform beyond their capacities. So basically, the second category of people, they have better control over their minds, they have better control over their actions, and they are better judge of their situations. Uh, well, I'll give you an example. Uh, when I was in school, uh, well, it was a small town, and my father was in transferable jobs, so we used to change cities after almost every 1 or 2 years, and so I. Every second year, I found myself in a new city, mostly very small cities. So, in one of those cities, one of my friend, his name was Kaushal, and he came from a very rich family. In fact, his father, his family had, three cinema halls. So in those days, it was a huge thing, especially for a small city. Somebody coming from a family having two cinema halls. I mean, it is considered that he's an extremely rich person. So, well, we were in same school, same class, and he was a friend of mine. We mostly shared lunch, and well, after some time, he said that I'm not happy with this school. I want to join a boarding school. So I said, okay, that's your decision, but I think I find this school is good. I mean, we have good teachers, good environment, and well, what else do you want? He said, no, I want to join a boarding school, and I'll tell my father to send me to Sherwood. Well, uh, so he was sent to Sherwood, Nainital. It's one of the elite schools. And what happened? He must have been uh, in class 7. In fact, I also uh, left the city, and well, I went on my life. In fact, later on, I also went to a boarding school, but a different place. The time passed on, and this guy, well, I left that city, and well, they were, most of them, I think, they were not in touch. Mostly we're out of touch. And I used to hear stories that Kaushal, after going to Sherwood, he fell in a bad company, and well, he got into drugs and all, and then he was sent to rehabilitation center, and but he couldn't recuperate. He again fell into the drugs, and he was kicked out of school, and then he also tried suicide a couple of times. Well, that was it. That was such stories I heard. Well, that was then. Many years after that incident, say around 15 years, and I must have been 30 when I met Kaushal, and you won't believe it. I met Kaushal in at a railway station, Mumbai Central. Can you believe it? Outside Mumbai Central, I could see, or a person, and basically, he was in rags. Long beard, unkempt, dirty, and he was literally sitting near a pavement begging. I just happened to come out of the Mumbai Central, and I was looking for some cab or something to take me to the South Mumbai where I was supposed to go. And suddenly I saw his face, and I immediately, it hit my mind. This guy resembles old friend of mine, Kaushal. I went near him and had a good look at him and asked, "Hello, are you Kaushal?" He looked at me, and I immediately recognized he was Kaushal. And then, I can't tell you what happened. And he literally started crying. And I took him with me, and I was staying in a hotel, and I kept Kaushal for next 2 days with me. He got bath, he got cleaned, and I gave him a new pair of clothes, and I spent the next 48 hours. I had to come back to Delhi, but while coming back, I said, what you have done with your life, man. He couldn't say anything and he was still crying. I told him, why don't you go back to your parents? He said, I'll go. I gave him some money. I had to come back, and I came back. I don't know whether he made it back to his home or not. He may have lied because I could see in his eyes. He was really ashamed of his situation, and I'm sure he would never have gone to his home. So, by this incident, I want to tell you that this man, Kaushal, was blessed with riches. He was born in such a rich family. He could have gone to places, but then his action took him into a different direction, and he ruined his life. That shouldn't happen. So it's in your hand what kind of life you want to make. I have seen people who came from a very challenged background, and by dint of their hard work, they changed their destiny. Such people, they have a very unique thinking. They like to evolve every day, and for them, every day is a new day as a challenge and a chance to improve themselves. While we have people, they just stop in their track, and they go on cursing them. Their destiny, their circumstances, and they don't improve. And it's really sad to see that some people they don't utilize their potential, and they don't really come out of their comfort zones, and that is really very, very disappointing. Because I think that it's entirely up to you to what kind of life you want to make. The life is same for you, for me, or for anybody. It's all up to us what kind of life we want to make. We want to improve or we want to deteriorate. So the choice is yours. But life you get only once, so you should make full use of it. Because however people are born with certain traits, I think that when you're born with the equal footing, and it all needs the resolve and the effort and the perseverance you put in to make the kind of life you want to make. So guys, if you haven't made the effort you should have, this is the time to come out of your comfort zone and put it your best foot forward. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Thank you.